Brooklyn's historic The Black Lady Theater is now taking bookings. Host your next birthday party, concert, networking event, baby or bridal shower, wedding, art show, gala, corporate event, live stage play, audition, and so much more. At the one and only The Black Lady Theater. Mention code GODCAST for 15% off your rental fee. Code good for the first-time customers only. Valid for a limited time. Call 718-771-0900 to book your event today.
Peace. Today's Monday, July 29th. Making today's math.
Wisdom born, all being born to knowledge. Knowledge, all being born to wisdom.
That's right. Use your wise words and make them born, make them manifest, and your knowledge will be acknowledged by others' wisdom. By their, you'll see it in their ways and actions. Peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
Godfrey is in LA this week.
Yeah.
But rest assured, when he comes back, he'll be back to the motherfucking Godcast. Peace, Godfrey.
Peace.
Yeah. So we in the house. We back. Another week.
Another one.
Digga's enthralled in her new...
I'm sorry, I just got a new toy from Prime Day.
Yes. That she got... Oh, look at that little... That's kind of dope, right? She got a tablet that
little
looks
fire
like
tablet
a
over here.
composition notebook.
Yeah.
That's pretty fresh.
So I will be
combine the old with the new. I like that.
I'll be fact checking with this.
Right, and you don't need to have a big old laptop on your lap anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
Except for when I got to split up the middle of my dress.
Well, listen, I need you here, though. I need you here.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey. What up? My guy.
You like really?
No, I'm pulling up the notes for our show.
Okay, I got you. Well,
Yeah.
while you do that, how about I do this? Listen, if you'd like to donate to the show, why don't you go to cash.me/$, you know what I mean? Patreon.com/, you know what I mean? Yanadameen.com/support or bounty.com/, you know what I mean? We appreciate every single dollar that you spend. Shout out to Trishina C, I believe, is the name. Hang on, let me just check real quick. Because this sister consistently, every week, donates $1. Yep. Trishina C. $1 a week. But it's consistent.
I ain't mad at
every week. And we love you, Trishina, for your $1 a week. Now,
Shouts out Trishina.
Now, if all 73,000 subscribers would, follow that lead, we'd really be cooking with gas. We'd be like a motherfucking ABC network out this motherfucker. We'd be doing such wondrous things.
Well, we already there. We got our correspondent.
Look at the mic. The new mics this week.
Yeah, we showing off now, y'all.
Yeah, now we just showing our ass. I know. Yeah, we had labs, and yo, God, you got to watch because the labs be, the chains be rubbing on the labs. Well, guess what? I want to rock my chains. So you know what we're going to do? We got the option of using these motherfucking, I don't even know what to call these mics. Headset mics.
Yeah.
Right. But this is some shit like
the Beyonce mics.
Or an Usher mic. The male version would
okay,
be like
Usher.
An Usher mic.
I'm Beyonce.
Yours is Beyonce,
okay.
yeah. Because this is the type of shit like, when you like singing and doing choreography and shit. This is
Yeah.
the type of shit you wear. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so we balling with mics now here at the Yanadameen Godcast.
So you can dance and
I can
and do the
dance
mic on
and
the-
fucking rap, sing, whatever the fuck I need to do with this mic.
That's
if I
right.
needed to. Not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying.
Who wants to see Jamar dance?
need-
Clap it up, clap it up. Let's see Jamar bust some dance.
Listen, relax. One day, we got a stage here, so one day, maybe,
Uh-oh. You gonna
You
bust
know.
out the linoleum and give him
have a
some?
little. Oh no,
Hey.
I don't think my back. I don't think my back can take it right now. Oh, spinning on the back? No, thank you. But maybe
good
a little
old
pop
days.
locking, little
Okay.
bopping,
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. What Digga wants to jump right into.
Yes!
It's like she damn near harassed me.
All weekend
into
long. Did you
listening
listen
to
yet?
this.
Did you listen yet?
Did you listen to Nas Lost Tapes? No, Digga, I'm sorry. I didn't get to listen to it yet.
I was hot too. I think at one point.
What the hell are you listening
Yeah,
to?
at one point I just started breaking on him.
said,
Like, what are you listening to? Like what? Who's not listening to Nas right now?
And I just wrote back our famous phrase, "rockin' to the beat."
See, they don't know the history of that. That's actually an inside joke.
Rockin' to the beat means like old school hip hop. Okay, like she said that she was talking to her brother, and her brother was like, "Yo, I don't know many people that still listen to like a lot of old school hip hop." Am I telling the story right?
Right.
And she was like, "Nope, not Jamar." He said,
I'm like, no.
Every time I get in his car, it'd be like rocking to the beat. And yo, that shit just had me crying. And so now rocking to the beat
It's like
is like
it's
a thing
joke.
between us. Like,
No, but
yeah.
it's funny because like I'll hear him coming from a distance. It'll be some Fabulous. It'll be anything in the car. Like the minute I open the door, don't push me, cause I'm close. I'm like, it's like there's a satellite somewhere waiting for me to get in the car.
Yo, shout out LL Cool J,
Yo.
Rock the Bells Radio.
Every
I'm
time.
sorry.
Every time I get in the
But-
car.
That's what my shit lands on when I'm in the truck a lot. That's not all I listen to. But
So that's like a
I'm gonna
joke
say about
amongst us.
80% of the time. And so and it's really funny when you get in and like they'll play these little snippets of like really, really old school shit, like shit from the tapes, and that type of shit will come on, and that'll just all they're saying is like yes, y'all, a beat, and that's
Right.
like rocking to the to the 10th power.
And shouts out to all the pioneers and the legends
Yes.
that paved the way,
We
because
got another pioneer and legend coming up. I believe it is next week. I'm not gonna say who it is yet because I was taught not to, release, your eggs before they hatch. But we got a pioneer coming next week.
okay.
Yeah, the people's gonna enjoy. So trust me, on that Shy Rock level, on that level of,
Oh,
you know what I
nice.
mean, original crafters of this whole art form.
Nice. So you get everything here on the Yanadameen Godcast. Coming up later on today, we got some, we got some youngins coming up.
That's right. We got some.
Shouts out to Jamar. Wait, cut.
Yo, listen. I'm booking guests.
Shouts out to
I'm
Jamar
expanding this show.
for bringing his people through.
And for some reason, I feel like I'm being persecuted for this right now.
Oh, God.
Like, I'm expanding the scope of the show. I'm trying to,
If only,
we need, first of all,
if
don't
only our
forget to
viewers
subscribe.
could just
Hang on.
just like just be a fly on the wall
Don't forget to
sometimes.
subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell so that you get notifications whenever we put up a new video. But listen, I want to be a place where all kind of hip hop can come.
That's right.
And whether it's our cup of tea or not, you know, we're going to hear certain people out and allow them to, you know, speak what they have to say. But we're going to ask them the questions that we would ask.
But you know what's so dope about that? Because surprisingly, you know, like people that you think you would have zero in common with, you know, when you start peeling it back, you know, when you start peeling the layers back, you find like, wait, we actually might have more in common than we think we do. Because at the end of the day, it's
communication.
It's for me, it's always like artist versus the machine. So even with this, you know, with the generational gap and the age difference and, you know, the powers that be just constantly pitting us against each other, the old school, the new school, and things like that. When we come together on our own, it actually makes for like a beautiful thing. So
see, and if this show is the type of place where, you know, 1 week you can see, you know, a Pete Rock, you know, and the next week, you know, the kind of guests that we're gonna have later. You know, I think that just adds to the whole scope of what we're doing, and you know what I mean? It just,
that's right.
It opens up a lot of people to a lot of other things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially the younger generation, if anything, I think they're benefiting by coming to a show and learning about a show like this and a scope, a show like this being on their radar.
They need it the most. Like they don't. One of the biggest complaints that I hear from younger artists, they for some reason they feel like, you know, we the legends don't reach out to them, or, you know, that we're not checking for them, and we always have that complaint about them where, you know, you're not doing the research on us, you're not respecting us and the people that paved the way. But surprisingly, a lot of them feel like, you know, we neglect them. So I think it's interesting when, you know, when I find myself having these conversations and I say, well, you know, for the most part, history always repeats itself and there's always lessons to be learned. Like had Hitler studied the ways of Napoleon, he wouldn't have made the same mistake and invaded Russia in the wintertime. So,
right.
you know, there's a lot to be said for doing your homework. And I think when the younger artists are willing to do that and willing to, you know, open those lines of communication to us, it's like whatever is missing, that void that's in the black community, you know, that separates us, we can be such a more tight-knit unit when we do that. So
all right, so anyway,
yes.
so you
back
tell
to
me,
Nas.
right, so back to Nas.
Nasty Nas.
So you tell me, right?
Yes.
Tell me.
I was going off on him.
Listen to this Nas, right?
Yes.
And so shortly after you tell me that, I end up hearing on one of these Sirius radio channels, not Rock the Bells, but I think it was another one, Queensbridge Politics.
A good one to start. One of my faves.
A great one to start.
One of my personal faves.
When I heard that, I had heard about the song already. I immediately knew, you know, and I think it came in when I tuned in, it was already playing from kind of the middle, but I knew from what was being said, all right, this is Queensbridge Politics, and this shit is dope. I'm fucking with this. All right, let me fucking listen to Digga now, and really fucking, you got time
listen
to
to
listen
Digga.
to
Keywords,
shit.
listen to Digga.
You got time to listen to this shit. It was coming from fucking with my brother and all this type of shit, so I knew I had a nice little ride ahead of me, and I said, let's play Nas's album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, definitely, now I'm giving you my first impression. I haven't been able to live with it yet. I listened to it one time in its entirety.
Okay.
And compared to that last, you know, album that he put out, the Kanye produced album, we
Nasir.
had reviewed that. Yeah. You know, much, much better album. Like, this sounds like Nas.
This is Nas.
Yeah, this sounds like Nas.
This sounds like nasty Nas.
Musically, lyrically, but yet it sounds like a more mature Nas. Musically, lyrically, like the things he's talking about, the themes, you know, there's a lot of mature positivity injected in there, but yet there's still that same grimy, nasty Nas who, you know, just might wave automatic guns at nuns. And you know, yeah, the shit.
Impeccable lyricism and wordplay.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I feel like he was trying to, musically, he was trying to educate us, you know, and help us mature musically. Like, if you notice, a lot of the records, the outro is pretty long.
Yes.
You know, the outro to the music.
Beautiful. It's called Beautiful Life.
But there's a few records that the outro is quite long, and they'll have horns, and you know, and I think that's the influence of his father that's going into his music, and it's just all of his musical, just all his musical influences just kind of seemed like it's wrapped up in this project right here. And I think it's dope as fuck. And I can't tell, like, by listening to it, I can't tell, like, okay, this song was produced by this guy. Like, this whole shit just sounds like Nas's album.
It's funny because there actually are, you know, there is a wide range of producers
I
from
heard that, but
from
I can't
from
necessarily
RZA to Pete Rock to you know, I forget the brother's name from the South, DJ Tone.
When they did the Straighten It Out. Over.
Mixed with Uptown Anthem, with Naughty's Uptown Anthem.
Ill. That was ill.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was ill.
That's a good one. The standouts for me, well, really, there's only maybe like 3-4 songs that I may tune out of. I won't necessarily fast forward because this is definitely a project that I could listen to straight through. But there's about maybe even 5. I would say out of like 16 something records. Like there's like 5 of them that I can live without. But then there are some that like I would just have on repeat. The intro, which is called No Bad Energy.
Right. Yep.
You know, that's like smash. And then the last 3. You Mean the World to Me.
Yes.
Queensbridge Politics. And then the album ends with Beautiful Life. Like right now, those are like my starting 4. And I would say my 5th favorite is probably the one you're talking about, the Uptown Anthem with the with the Straighten It Out.
Right.
Those are like my starting 5, and then I'll put Lost Freestyle as like my 6th man.
See, I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta catch up to me.
I don't know him like that, but I think I agree.
You can take your time with it.
Joints that you're saying. Question: what do you think about the Al Jarreau one? What's your thoughts on that?
The Al Jarreau.
That one's very interesting.
The Al Jarreau is and you know that's actually the first single of this project.
Really?
And it threw a lot of people off. It was like the first thing he threw out, and it threw people off. Like, wait a minute, it's coming off of the Kanye album. Like it left such a bad taste in people's mouth that people were thrown off. I personally love the lyricism on this. On this song. It's like I said, it's like, wow, he's rhyming on like a 12/8 measure, and I think how he approached it, from an artist standpoint was genius. Is it something that I necessarily want to have on repeat? Maybe not, but the fact that he was able to do what he did with this beat lyrically, like that's one of those things that, people talk about Nas's taste in beat picking, and I always say to people like that, he's one of those artists that really don't need a lot musically. Like to me, Nas is such an impeccable lyricist that the beat is almost like just ambiance, like background noise. Like there's certain artists who like their lyrics just trump everything about the record, so the music is just like background noise to me, and Rock Marcy is one of those type of artists. I feel like there are certain artists whose beats are like specific to them and their style, and that's what makes them them.
See, but I kind of would wonder what a Vlad would think about the beats on this one. Because I feel like there was a lot of good beats on this.
No, these beats are dope.
So to act like that whole beat picker shit with this one,
I don't really think that applies to this album. This was
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that shit kind of might have to go out the window with this one, because there's quite a few
bangers
dope beats on this fucking album. And yeah, like, he's definitely, I'm fucking with this album. I'm fucking with it.
Now, I heard him say a lot of these songs, you know, a good number of these songs date back to about 15 years old. When I listen to this album, I'm wondering, are you really just pulling these songs out of the archives? Like, to me, they just sound so polished. And I mean, Nas is a polished artist, but it's like, come on, you didn't spice up that second verse. You didn't revamp that hook. You didn't have somebody go add a new snare on that beat. Like, I'm pretty sure there were some, you know, some little, some touches, or maybe just remastered even. Like, they're definitely, I do think, because I could believe that, you know, this is a 15-year-old Nas song because he's just that dope. But I also think, you know, there had to be some sort of, you know, polishing up, if you will, of some of the music. But, you know, either way, shouts out to Nas. I'm loving it. This is what I'm rocking with, at least for the next, you know, week or two. I can see myself revisiting this, you know, for a long time. Like, I'm still revisiting the Last Tribe album. I'm still revisiting Pusha T, Daytona. This is definitely that. Like, I'm happy. Nas has always been, you know, a GOAT for me. So,
well, I'm definitely gonna recommend that people go get this album.
yes, please.
Go check it out, stream it, whatever the fuck you got to do. And you know, absorb it, like, you know, because it's a good example of real hip hop. You know what I mean? In today, and mature hip
It's a
hop.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's definitely a breath of fresh air.
And he's talking about stuff that I can still relate to. And I hate to put Jay-Z and Nas against each other. Shouts out to Hov, because he's definitely a GOAT to me too. But he lost me some places in 444. He you know, he did. And I respected the message and the growth and everything that he was preaching on that project. But Nas really made me feel like I was in Queens. And, like, Jay-Z doesn't give me Marcy anymore. Like, this was like Nas, a grown, prestigious man, you know, like he was standing in the middle of Queensbridge projects with his, you know, with his suit and tie and just looking around. Like, he really put me there. So I love it. I loved it.
Dope. Well, listen, Conway just dropped a record.
Yeah. Oh, guess what else dropped the same day?
What's that?
Beyonce. Beyonce dropped an album.
Okay, but Conway dropped a record.
He did.
Yeah, and he had.
He can't wait, y'all. He can't wait. Look at him. He's excited. He's excited.
He had our friend on there, you know.
Your guy.
Little blonde hair. And, yeah, I was feeling the record like when Conway came on. Feeling it.
Rocking.
You know what I
To the beat.
That shit was hard. Then, I don't know. When it got to the next guy, your friend, your boy.
Your boy. That's your boy.
Your boy.
You love talking about him.
boy.
That's your boy. You
I don't
love
know.
it.
Well, I'm just curious. How'd you like the record? And what'd you think about
he destroyed
your
the
boy's
record.
Part? Huh? What?
He destroyed the record. He ruined it.
He did what? Come again?
He ruined the record. He ruined the record.
It was horrible.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It was trash.
Trash. Feces.
Okay.
Basura.
Anything else?
No, I just, it's a shame because, like, I want to see somebody like Conway. I want to see him win. Like I fucks with his music. I fuck with the energy that he represent, and it's just a shame that.
Yeah, I was mad at that.
Like on paper, that's supposed to be, a really big record. You know what I mean? And then for, to get on there and just like
it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say this. In our previous conversation, I know one of your criticisms was about you mentioned where like why isn't he like promoting his artists, putting artists on his project, things like that. And I said sometimes that's not always the best thing. Sometimes creatively it just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Like I don't want to force collaboration just because we're label mates or you're my label head and you're the big guy and could possibly take the record to the next level.
Because corny don't always. Corny can't mix with.
If it's gonna ruin the record creatively, like
Right.
I don't want to hear it. So that, like for me, that was a criticism that I didn't necessarily agree with.
No, but it's just.
But that was my point.
I understand that, but then it's also like.
I mean, there's other ways. There's other ways you could do it and not be corny, but I mean, hey,
yeah,
it happens.
Unless you're so corny that you just can't avoid being corny. But listen, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna have more with Yanadameen Godcast. Basura!
Let's see what corny Jamar brings out.
Basura!